It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're gonna be talking about how 2K put out a tweet yesterday. Their tweet stated this. It said, PSA, we are adjusting the suspension policy against the purchase or transfer of MyTeam points in NBA 2K23. First-time offenders will now be temporarily banned for 30 calendar days. Repeat offenders will face a permanent account ban. Now, what is the big deal behind this? Why is this getting such a negative reaction? Let's talk about it right now. Now, before we dive any further, man, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do smash that subscribe button. We're on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. So, the reason I didn't immediately have a reaction to that or tweet about it is because it really took me a while to gather my thoughts on it. Here's my opinion on things, okay? Instead of 2K taking responsibility and adjusting the way they do things, they put all the blame on the community. Now, with that being said, buying MT is against 2K's terms of service. It's not something new. It's not something that is just, well, it is now just getting enforced, but it's been going on for a few months. Now, though, they're banning people for 30 days right away. What's the reasoning? It's because people are like, well, I'm just going to take my 10-day ban, buy 10 million MT, and I'll be set for the rest of the year. That's what people's thoughts are. And again, once that account gets banned, then they'll make a new account, play on that account for a while. So this is 2K's response to that. But my whole thing is this. Instead of making the pack odds better, in which these pack odds are absolutely horrible, instead of banning the MT sellers primarily, because that's the reason Hero MJ was 2 million MT, they're putting it on the MyTeam community. The reason Michael Jordan on day one was 2.5 million MT is not because of the community. It's because of two things. Number one, it's because of pack odds. MJ was getting pulled at an all-time low rate. That's why he is super, super, super expensive. Number two, MT sites price fixed Michael Jordan, and so people were forced to buy MyTeam points if they wanted Michael Jordan. The only way somebody who doesn't spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on the game can afford this Michael Jordan is by buying MT. That's just the facts. You can't tell me that somebody can grind this game for 8 hours a day and find a way to afford that MJ. You can't tell me that because that's not the case. There's maybe one person in the entire game that is a grinder that can do that. And even with that, it's really tough because if you want to spend all your MT on one card, sure, but it's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. And the reason the community is so outraged is because 2K is taking no responsibility. They're not saying, okay, this is bad. Because when I first talked to 2K's, high ups, that what they told me is the market was getting out of hand, so we had to ban people for buying MT. That's what they told me. Obviously, that's not the case. Obviously, the market's not high because people are buying MT. The market is high because their pack odds are so horrific. They're literally scamming people for packs. Troy Dan opened $700 worth of packs, and it's not like he just didn't pull the Hero MJ. He didn't pull one dark matter. Not one dark matter. I don't have the words for it. It's just so sad in my opinion. And I feel like the 2K, the people, the high ups at 2K is so out of touch with the community. Yes, people buy MT. Why? It's relatively simple. It's relatively simple. How else do you get a good team? You can't grind for it. Okay, it's really nearly impossible to grind for it. You can't buy VC and spend a couple $100 every. Let's say I spend a couple $100 every month. If I did that on MLB, I'd have a really good team. If you do that on 2K, you're still not doing much. You're not getting anywhere. Okay? To have one of the best squads in the game, if you're not buying MT, you're spending thousands every month. It's just that simple. And that's the biggest problem that I see with the game right now. And 2K could make pack odds better. They could make this game more accessible. They could make this game more fun to play, in which you can grind for MT. You can, while you're going for level 40, you know, you can get I'm just going to throw out a name. While you're grinding for level 40, you can get a Bill Russell that's auctionable at level 37. You can get these things. You can attain these things. Instead, that's not the case, right? Instead, they make it so horrible, right? In Clutch Time Online, instead of giving us, instead of giving us 30,000 MT at 90 wins, give us 50,000, 60,000. Improve the amount of MT in game modes. Instead of working on improving that, their stance to this is, let's be harsher on MT bans. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And some people in the community are like, duh, don't buy MT. I get that perspective. But my perspective is, okay, if you don't want people to buy MT, you've got to make this game more accessible. It's not accessible right now. The average, MyTeam specifically, is not accessible. Because let's be honest with ourselves. Taco and Yao run the game. They run the game. And if you want Taco and Yao, realistically, you've got to spend hundreds of dollars on the game to get them. That's just the realistic perspective of things. You want either the best two shooting guards in the game, you got to spend thousands more. The game is just not accessible. In MLB The Show, if you want, let's say, the best player in the game, you're going to have to spend hundreds to get there probably. But it's not like you're going to have to spend thousands and thousands each month to have the best squad in the game. And that's the big difference. Instead of 2K's primary goal being, okay, let's make people have fun with the game, increase the amount of fun people having with the game, increase the amount of engagement with the game, they just care about microtransactions. That's all they care about. How many times have we seen a great way to make MT? I remember in years past, we'd get diamond contracts out of locker codes that you could turn around and sell for, even if it was 15,000 to 20,000 MT. Now, the locker codes we get are locker codes like this. Are locker codes that you have to type in. And again, I'm not trying to just sit here and slander my team. Obviously, I'm upset with this, but I'm trying to make the improvements. Here's the problem, okay? This type of a locker code would be fine if this player was auctionable, right? You give us a random player, it says random. You're probably never gonna pull like a Dark Matter or Galaxy Opal from this. But what I'm saying is, if you give us a, let's say, Galaxy, or let's just say a random player, make them auctionable. Make it so you can make a couple thousand MT off of these. The amount of useless locker codes this year that we have seen is it's sad. Because sure, and honestly, I have no desire to even type this locker code in, because I know out of this locker code is going to come an unauctionable player. What's the point of that? What is the point of that? And people can go as far as to saying unauctionable players have ruined my team. And that's part of it. But instead of 2K, okay, I pulled a diamond here, nice. Maybe I'll pull like Austin Reaves or something. But instead of 2K looking in the mirror and thinking, okay, what can we do? Okay, this is Jalen Brunson. He's got an Evo. Perfect. This is a perfect example. I pulled Jalen Brunson. Awesome. Right? It's awesome. Because in the case that I could sell Jalen Brunson, and this is why I like this example right here. In the case that I could sell Jalen Brunson out of a free locker code for the NBA playoffs starting, getting people engaged, I could sell the diamond Jalen Brunson for 50,000 MT. Okay, that's what I could sell him for. Instead, I'm stuck with him. He doesn't make my squad. I can't use him. I don't want to use him. I'm not a Knick fan. But I'm stuck with him. He's unauctionable. This is a prime example of what is wrong with the game. You've got to think a little bit deeper when it comes down to this. It's not just a simple solution. But 2K does not care. 2K would rather blame us. They'd rather just say, you know what? You guys are buying MT. You're making new accounts. That's not what we want. We want you guys to buy packs. We're banning you guys for for 30 days instead of 10 days. But it's not that simple. I made a video how I want contracts back in the game because I believe contracts were a decent way to make MT in my team. What's a decent way to make MT in my team right now? What's a decent way? Play triple threat online? I mean, what is a decent way to make play co-op? I mean, that's probably your best method, but there's not really a decent way. There's not a way. I can go as far as to saying triple threat offline. Okay, like, are these packs even auctionable? I don't even know. Like, or even triple threat offline. As you go up wins, maybe out of the vault they're auctionable, but as you go up wins, these cards are unauctionable. Like these award packs, I'm pretty confident were unauctionable last season, and it's probably the same thing this season. It's not just us, right? And that's what my team is inferring. They're inferring it's your guys' fault. You guys are not following TOS. It's your fault. How about my team cares about the community for once, right? And this is my opinion. How about you make the game, number one, more fun to play, make the engagement better, communicate with us, care about us, right? Instead of saying, okay, or instead of saying, look, these people bought MT, we're going to just ban them, no communication. They should know they're banned for 250K. Communicate us. Understand why we are buying MT. Understand, again, I haven't bought MT after I've gotten banned, but understand why the community buys MT. Don't just say, you know what, you're not spending thousands on our game, it's your fault. I get what 2K is trying to do, but I'm saying they need to look in the mirror. This game right now isn't trending upwards. And 2K probably sees, well, our sales are up. There's gonna come a time, and this is my honest opinion, when the engagement of this game gets so low that's gonna flip. Right now, yes, there's gonna be certain people out there like, I'm ripping until I get hero Michael Jordan or until I can afford him. And that's the people that have a ton of money. So for example, let's say LeBron James played 2K. He gets his new Dark Matter Invincible card and he plays my team. He's gonna rip until he gets him. That LeBron James might spend $5,000 on the game. He might not care about that. But meanwhile, people like me, if they would have dropped even this, I'm going to go so far as to saying, even if they would have dropped this off-brand Michael Jordan in packs, okay, that you could buy a 10 box and guaranteed Michael Jordan would pop out as the topper for $50. That might intrigue me to spend money on the game. I don't like gambling, number one, okay, no matter what it is. I don't like gambling. And number two, when pack odds are this bad, 2K has to look in the mirror. It's bigger than, oh yeah, we need to ban people for buying MT. I get that. You don't want people to buy MT. But why are they buying it? Okay? Why are they buying it? They're buying it to have a good team and have fun with the game. People aren't having fun with the game. They're not. The engagement is down right now. And we as a community know why. 2K, on the other hand, is so oblivious to it all and so blind that they're just going to put everything on the community and point fingers. There's going to be certain people in the community that are like, yeah, you guys shouldn't buy MT. It's your guys' fault. Okay. All I'm going to say is this. I used to be able to grind triple threat online and make tons of MT. That's not the case anymore. As with every other game mode, everything's unauctionable. The odds of everything is horrible. We don't get any grindable things anymore. Look in the mirror, 2K. Stop blaming everything on the community. It's gonna wrap it up for our video. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. And have a blessed day.